छोटे छोटे रखना है छोटे भी आ रहा एक नंबर डिस्कस होता है पिछली बार मिस किया डेट भी डिस्कस होता है बाकी दो साजो ना ठीक इसको जो ना सही कर दो छुट्टे ना पैसे सही कर दिया अच्छा ये पहले तो ना पाल को सीधा करो छुट्टे ना पैसे So, okay. So, I mean, this is our Islamiat session where we study about, Islam in general. We do discussion. So, generally, how do I start with? I start with dua. And we do some kind of, we see some dua which are given in the Quran. And then we see like where they are in the Quran, which chapter, which ayah they are in Quran. And let him sit in front because they won't be able to see that. Don't keep him in, just at the back of Gibran. He won't be able to see. Gibran, bring him here or bring him here. All right. So that's how we start with. But since you see the time that I have right now, so it's just about 20 minutes that I have got. So I won't do the dua. I'll start because I said like this is what we are going to discuss. So we'll go to our topic that we have. Okay. Right. So last time basically we started with Taharah. Okay. Cleanliness, purity, hygiene. Okay. And of course, we are focused on male hygiene. Okay, as you can imagine, all men are here, and we are seeing the generic things. Okay, related to cleanliness. Okay, Alhamdulillah, our religion is one of the religions which talks about cleanliness. Okay, and as we last time, I mean, I'll just quickly summarize what we discussed. We have seen like the cleanliness, the importance of cleanliness in our religion, and we have seen it from the Quranic ayat that we have, okay, which clearly talks about washing hands, cleaning yourself, okay, and then cleaning with water. Water is kind of like we clean ourselves from water, so it's given in the ayat. So it's water is a blessing for us. So we clean with that. And it's, of course, here the focus that we have put here is on physical cleanliness, okay? But, and in general, we discuss the cleanliness. Basically, it's not just the physical cleanliness, but the morally we should be clean, and that we have been discussing in the previous sessions that we had, that we should think right, we should think well, we should not think of bad things about others, okay? We should, overall, we should be, clean morally as well, spiritually, we should be, clean. So, but here, of course, here the focus is, on physical, personal cleanliness. Of course, like when we talk about, cleanliness, so we need to keep not clean ourselves, but our, environment, our home, as it was mentioned, last time. But here we are focusing on our personal cleanliness, okay? And as we said, we have seen like cleanliness is important before we are going to start any kind of prayer. So before that we should be clean. So in general, our religion focuses that we should remain clean as much as we can keep, okay? So in order to start before cleaning ourselves, so how we start with that, in order to be what when we talk about cleanliness, so what we would like to do, we would like to keep ourselves clean as longer as possible, okay? So the practical process, as you see, that would be like how we start with, because you go to toilet first, okay? So that's what we are going to discuss today. So these are the general etiquettes related to toilet. So these are some of the slides which we have covered in the past, so I'm not just going through that. So basically, we'll just come to today's slide that we have. This all we have covered last time, so you'll just get a snapshot of it. After this, I think the next one comes here. Right. Okay. So today we are talking about the journal etiquettes. Okay. So these are some of the journal etiquettes that we are going to discuss. One thing that I would like to mention is cleanliness. Of course, I mean, if there is some physical kind of impurity that you can see, so obviously you know that. But again, if that is not there, but still sometimes you feel you are not clean, so obviously personally that you are clean or not. Okay, so it's between you and your Lord, between you and Allah. Okay, so that's what we have. So and one thing that I focus here is journal. I mean, some of the things that do slightly differently and you think it works for you well, so that's okay. Okay, so there is no kind of I would say there are some of the general things which I mentioned here, okay, which are given in the books and which in practical are generally good. But of course, as a human being, as an individual, like how you can keep yourself better clean. Okay, so that's why I say these are the general etiquettes. Okay, and basically general etiquettes when you are going to the toilet. Okay, and why we are discussing it, because as I said, you would like to keep your cleanliness in the state, you would like to remain yourself in a state that you could do prayers, you could you could do supplication, you can read Quran and so on and so forth. So you would like to keep it for a longer period. Okay, and at the same time, when you are in a state of cleanliness, so I mean, you feel more good, you will have more good feelings, good thoughts, and of course you will have the blessings of Allah. Okay, because Allah, as we say, the cleanliness is half of the iman, and different hadiths and ayat that we have seen the last time. Okay, so that's the reason that we are discussing this. Okay, so basically it is the nature of the call. Okay, so I mean, if you have to go to toilet, so you will have to. Okay, but obviously what we would say that you do not leave it for the last time. Okay, I mean, give yourself, do it in advance, because if you leave it for the last time, so there are the things you can get your clothes dirty. Okay, or I mean, as it said, there you can there may be a few drops that can come out of urine. Okay, and you will, and hygiene can, I mean, in terms of the hygiene, it's not good, because you will put extra pressure on your body, on the parts of your body, for example your bladder. Okay, so basically it's good that you give yourself some time and you do it in some advance. Don't leave it for the last moment. Okay, right. The next thing that is recommended, or that's a kind of the doing of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when you enter the toilet, so you enter with your left foot. Okay, so that's what you would do, and you would recite supplication. Okay, so what is the dua for going to the toilet? Okay, so it's great, you all know it. So that's the dua. Okay, Allahumma inni a'udhu min al-khubsi wal khaba'is. Okay, so that's the dua that we make when we are entering to the toilet. Okay, so, and it's its reference is given there. So I mean, you can check it, and I've taken this, all I have taken it from the booklet which I have shared before. Okay, booklet which is for male hygiene. All right, so that's the dua that we make. So you have entered the toilet, you make this dua. There are a few things which we should try to remember, that we should not talk to anyone while we are relieving ourselves when we are in the toilet. So do not talk to anyone. Okay, should not read anything inside or use any devices, including mobile phones or handheld gaming devices. Okay, so try not to use them. Okay, because toilet is not a clean place. Okay, so you try to spend as less time as you can. I mean, of course, the amount of time that you have to spend, you spend in order to clean yourself, in order to relieve yourself. By the same time, there's no need to do extra time, because I've been to toilets where they are very luxurious, which is okay. By the same time, like, you will find some papers, magazine, and you keep sitting there and and reading it, which is not good. Okay. uh, and people keeping their mobiles in the toilets. I mean, I've seen that is also seen in some of the mobile repair shop. Like, the person came in and said, like, it had fallen in the toilet, at
Commode,
so
yeah.
it's no good. And then at the other time, I mean, you are going to use it again. Okay, so it's better not to keep your mobile, take your mobile down there. Okay. Generally, in terms of mobile, like, I would suggest, like, mobile is one of the dirtiest device that we use, because and we are using it all the time. So make sure before you are eating, so don't touch your wash your hands, and don't touch your mobile phone. Okay. So that's another thing, right? As we have just discussed, try and spend the least time inside as possible. Okay. uh, Another thing, that when removing clothes or lowering your garments, make sure they do not touch the floor. Okay, because toilet floor is not clean, and especially because some uncleanliness can transfer onto your clothes. And some toilets, especially which are at public places, so they are public places, like, so generally they are not very
Very clean.
clean. So you should be mindful of that. Okay, so please do take extra care. Okay. So anything, or any questions that you have in terms of this slide? Then
No.
few more things that we have. Okay. Right. So then there is another thing, like, remove your socks, if that's possible, especially when you are going you are at a public place, or you are in masjid or madrasa. So when you go to toilet there, so generally their slippers, or the whatever sandals or slippers that you have in the for going to the toilet, so they are not, it's used by everybody else, and generally they are wet. So it's no good, like, if you are getting those socks, so they will get wet as well, and you will bring them into masjid, where you do supplication, you do sajda. So it's no good. So please remove your socks when you are going to the toilet, especially in masjid or madrasa. Okay. So that's what it clearly says. Right. uh, I mean, when you are going to the toilet, so make sure, like, you don't have any rings, amulets, okay, with the name of Allah, or taking the Quran, those things. I mean, that again comes into the general etiquettes that we have. Okay. Right. Then another very important thing that we have, that it's very undesirable, and there it is makruh tahrimi. Okay, so there are certain things, like, there are, I think there are five things, either in terms of, like, acceptance. Like, one thing is that you have to do first. Okay, wajib, that you have to do. Then there is something which is uh, it is good to do. Okay. And then there is something which is which is not, like, I mean, there are five of them, so, like, it's better not to do them. And they are then the last one is the
Must not
haram,
do.
which you don't have to do at any cost. Okay. So so this is makruh mein tahrimi, which is very undesirable. Okay. That you face qibla, or your back is towards the qibla when you are relieving yourself. Okay. So please make sure, like, if that's the possibility. And of course, here in Pakistan, or in our Islamic culture, Islamic countries, they do care about these things when they are building the
Building,
toilets, and the facilities for relieving ourselves. So they do care about it. But here they build houses like that. So please make sure, like, that's not the case in your place. I mean, as it say, I mean, of course, if there is no choice, so I mean, you can't do anything about it. But if you own your house, and if you have money, so, and if that's the case, so please try to change it whenever you could. Okay, so please just check it. And again, there is a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, and that number I have given. But in the booklet, you will find the actual hadith with Arabic and its translation. So just to keep it simple, I didn't put that hadith, but I've just given you the reference for that hadith from Sahih Bukhari. Okay, which is one of the authentic books of the hadith. Right. Then in terms of the common kind of toilets that we have in European countries or in America, so that is seated toilet or commode. Okay, so what it says, like, because it is usually it is filled with water at the bottom. Okay, so what it is suggested that you can put some small amount of tissue papers in the toilet first before using it. Okay, so it will reduce the risk of any splashing. Okay, so that's what it is suggested. And even like it is also helpful that you see these structure of the houses that we have, so you can clearly hear the voice. So at the same time, like, it will save you from that as well, which in some of the movies on social media that we see, like, they are there. So it will also help in both ways. Okay, right. So that's what it can happen, like, if so it's good to put some tissue paper, but at the same time, do not put excessive amount of tissue paper that it will block your toilet. Okay, so that you have to take care of that. Okay, so right.
Any recommended amount?
I mean, as I said, like, these are the general etiquettes, and it depends, like, it depends, like, how you can clean yourself. I mean, it depends. Maybe if you need a full tissue paper, I don't know, but
It depends on the
depends.
depth of your.
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਤੇ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਟਿਸ਼ੂ ਸੁੱਟਣਾ
So, and another thing that we need to make sure the toilet seat that we are using is clean. Okay, so use some tissue paper to clean it, and if you can if you think like it's so very dirty, so what you can do, you can lay some tissue on it so that it doesn't touch your skin. Okay, and which is is sometimes, like, when you go to the public toilets,
places,
so
yeah.
that's the case most of the time. So you have to be careful. Okay, again, in this case, like, because we'll go into some specific issues in the later session. Okay, but just again to highlight, like, whatever works best for you in terms of keeping yourself clean, because we have seen in the last session that what is impurity and how you can what things are impure, and you need to keep yourself clean from them. So I mean, you need to take, better, like, what you need to do. But the important thing is your clothes are clean, there are no splashes on your clothes, on your skin. So as long as you can maintain that, so, and that's why I said, like, these are the general etiquettes. Okay, but some of the advice that are given here, because I know, like, in terms of public places, our offices or our schools, so the toilets, they are really sometimes they are really dirty. So we need to be mindful of that, and see, like, how best you can keep yourself in a state of cleanliness so that you could do your prayers. Okay, right. Then in short, after you have finished, so all tissue paper is disposed of correctly. If the seat is wet, so keep it clean. But of course, these are some of the things which at our home we can we can maintain. And of course, at public places we don't have any control. But at our home we do have we can take care of that and keep it clean for others. So once you have used the toilet, so make sure, like, it is clean and ready to use for other people. They can come and they can use it. So that at least we can maintain it at our home, and even at public places. So we should be mindful of that. It doesn't mean that you are using the public place. So as a Muslim, it's our responsibility that as long as we are concerned, so we keep it clean for other people. We I mean, we don't know what other people are doing, but at least we know ourselves that we leave it, even if they are public places, so we keep it, ready for others to, use it, don't make it, dirty. Okay. So again, these are, some of the generic things that we have. I'm conscious of time, so quickly go through the, you know, this. So dua when we leave the toilet. So what is the dua for leaving the toilet? Ghufranaka. Okay, so that's one of the dua. That's here. Okay, and then there is another dua. This is again is from one of the authentic hadith book. Okay, and then there is another dua. Alhamdulillahillazi azhaba anni al azaba afani. Okay, so that this is another dua that you can make when leaving the toilet. So this is from another hadith book. Okay, and sometimes what you can do, you can combine both of them, both the dua. Okay, Ghufranaka and Alhamdulillahi allazi azaba anni al azaba afani. Okay, so both the dua can be combined. Okay, so when you leave the toilet, so I mean, because going to toilet again, it's a blessing. Okay, because you can ask people like who have digestion issues, or having those issues, so they are really in difficulty, they have those problems. So basically what you need to do, we need to be thankful to Allah that he has he has like give us kind of blessing that we could relieve ourselves. Okay, so it is important that we make these dua. Right. So basically, that's all that I wanted to, discuss today. So next time, what we are going to do, we are going to go into, more details, specifically from, as we said, from male hygiene perspective. Okay. So we'll talk about, number one. You know what number one is? Isa, number one, number two. So when going to toilet, so we'll talk about, number one. Okay, so we'll be more specific and see like we'll discuss what is istabra and what is istanja. Okay, so we will discuss them in more detail, because it's good to recall. I mean, most of us, alhamdulillah, we know these things, but it's good to recall ourselves, including myself. So we recall it and see, like, think about it, because it's good to recall them and remember them. Okay, and see like how best we can do. So thank you so very much. Jazakallah. Thank you very much.